Now, many of you guys know there's a number of characters when you factor in all the different rarities in Kaiju number 8, the game right now, and so today's video is about which characters should you be using to get through the content, which characters are dark horses or ones that are characters people are sleeping on, etc. So that's the point of today's video. Hit that thumbs up. Get this video to a like goal of 200 likes. It requires your help. It's free. It helps the channel tremendously. And if you see the hype button, just get in the habit of pressing the hype. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're new here, thank you. We make Kaiju content. So make sure you subscribe. All right, let me know in the comments down below which character in the game do you think is one. So I started on Iharu because he is actually going to get an honorable mention from me, which I wanted to kind of throw here because I think he's a character who hasn't, and by the way, if you don't like the video, the flashing poltergeist face will haunt your dreams and give you nightmares, just for the record. You see it? Anyway, I think he's a character whose time has not come yet. To be fair, I don't know that you need this, but he's clearly designed to be like a lightning type support character. He's got an effect hit rate passive here, which depends on what like the character's doing. He has a defense down in here. He's got lightning damage over time here with the shock effect. Would be really good if he had a stun as well. He'd be cooking if he had a stun, because stun increases your crit rate or crit damage, that the enemy takes. Let's actually look at the dupes in here. I don't recall looking at his dupes. Before activating combat skill, has a 100% base chance to apply effect resistance down to the target. Okay, he's just going to help you hit your debuffs more. And that makes sense because his role with Reno, he helps Reno land the ice, and this is a case of them trying to be thematic. It's just he's not an ice character. He should be an ice character if that's the case. Anyway, turn duration of defense debuffs applied by +1, by ultimate +1, okay? So the debuff from the ultimate, which will let the defense down. Chance of shocking goes up, which is a little bit redundant. Damage over time multiplier goes up. So he's a character I think his time hasn't come yet. Now, on to the actual characters. Hello, Kota. So as we advance into the game, I've realized, because I've seen these comments, I'm always getting questions and stuff like, I'm stuck here, what can I use here, etc. By the way, if you have those, as you know, I'm really good at responding in my comments, and I'll even argue with you in my comments. I'll go back and forth for days. I will. I'm built different, bro. I will do it. But in all seriousness, the easiest way to interact with me, ask me questions, is if you can just reach out to me on X, man. In all seriousness, that is the easiest way. It's so much easier for me to interact with you there. So follow on X, follow on TikTok, etc. Linked in the description. Anyway, Kota is a character that, my point was, a lot of people started with Steam, long story short. And so if you started with Steam, you didn't pull for Reno. Reno wasn't there. He was long gone. You also didn't pull for Sagan. I believe she left that night right before that update. So Kota has been valuable. He's become valuable anyway, because Reno has become increasingly more valuable. They've been adding these stages that say, oh, bring ice here. Oh, bring fire here. Things like that. And if you have the new Narumi, he's extremely valuable in those situations where you don't have the actual elemental affinity to match the plate, because he can break the other plates and you can bypass that. That's a great ability he has, right? It requires some technical gameplay, sure, but it's a great ability anyway. But Reno and Sagan have become increasingly more valuable, and so as a result, the secondary character choices are useful and can be valuable as well, especially if you've got dupes in any of these 4-star characters as well. His only thing is he only does it on the ultimate, which kind of blows. I'm not going to lie to you. It would be much better if he had it on the combat skill like Tae does. Tae's got it on 2 spots. He only has it on the ultimate, so that is kind of a slow burn. So I think he's not even close in terms of relevance to Tae, because again, Tae has it on 2 skills. But he has an action order rewind in here with the freeze. He's also got a shield. He's like a defensive type character. So he's an interesting one. But I would throw him an honorable mention if you're stuck with ice stages. You can keep on trying to pull Reno, because Reno is in the gacha. He's just unfeatured. So you either get him, you don't. I don't know. Like, it's random. It's randomized. You got a 3% chance to get a character, and in that it's broken up. Reno could be the new character. Or actually, it's 1% to the new character, and then 2% chance is broken up between the other 5 stars in there, and Reno is in there. So, like, it's not reliable, right? So there's that. Everything I said it applies to Tae, except I think Tae's exceptionally better, again, for the 3rd time, because she's got it on 2 skills. I actually have used Tae in the latest stages that require fire content, and I'm here to report that she does work. And so I'm pretty positive, even though I haven't built Kota, I'm pretty positive he would work as well. It just will be a little more clunky because he's got it, again, on the ultimate only. She's got a damage over time. You're not really using her for anything but play breaking, if I'm being honest with you. And that's mostly it. So no need to kind of extend this on any further. Akari Minase. She is, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a 5-star healer at some point because she's the only healer in the game. These new content stages can hit pretty hard. And so we've had to, some people anyway, in some situations have had to dust her off and use her or build her, etc. By the way, you want to put on AR Circus, ideally. I just already had Honeybee built, so I didn't bother. But I would imagine that she gets replaced as the main healer. But if you've got her with dupes and stuff like that, unless it's an extremely strong upgrade regardless of dupes, she may still be the character that you use, right? So keep that in mind. But overall, really good. Also does have a revive of allies. Unfortunately, the revive does not bypass the condition, though, of clearing without any characters going down to get the full stars on that stage. But she does that. She also has an ult charge rate, which, by the way, she can help Kota get to his ultimate faster. So there's that. Like, with the Kota thing, like, if you could use her, you could put on... Frankly, if I was using Kota, I would put on a Unipart set for ult charge... whatever that one is, that spider, whatever the freak it's called, Ant, right here. I'll put Ant on. The body part's going to be ult charge. I'm trying to get all the plate breaks, follow-ups with him. Like I'm trying to put him in a, oh, it broke. My bad. That hasn't happened in a while. I'm trying to put him in a position, let me fix this, where he's able to do that stuff. I haven't seen that happen in a while, so I kind of forgot to watch for that. So anyway, yeah, I would put Ant set on him, etc. Move on. But anyway, she's valuable for what she can do. Now, moving on, I am mostly avoiding, the characters that are mostly getting used already, like 4-star Ashura. I don't need to tell you she's good. You understand that. 4-star Hoshina. I don't need to tell you he's good. You understand that. And in fact, I need to go back and touch up her Uniparts. I haven't used her so much lately, so I haven't really thought about it. Now, moving on from that, other characters in here that can be useful, most of these 5 stars are pretty specific in terms of like where you're using that, where they're using them at, what they're good at, excuse me. Like for example, like I can't tell you in good faith to use Rin, Ashuro, Hoshina. I can't tell you to use these characters because I don't think they're dark horses. Now that doesn't mean they can't be characters that are a part of your party to clear, but they're not doing exceptional there in most cases. So anyway, what I would say is a character that could be useful is actually this Kikaru. And the only reason why is because she's got the adjacent hits. And so the adjacent slash could be very valuable, and she does more damage than Hoshina. Hoshina would fulfill a similar role as her, except she does more damage than him in the earlier stage of the fight. So that's the only other reason. And other than that, though, I would mostly like to throw out there AG. So AG is a character that is interesting because he has a stun on there, and the stun itself is useful, but stuns actually increase critical damage that the enemy takes. So he is a character that you can plug in there and have basically as a support, if you will. He's trying to be an offensive character. None of that other crap he does matters. It's frankly just the stun that is important. Now, I guess if I have to throw out a 5-star, I'd throw Isao in there. Isao, I don't know that Isao gets enough credit for how strong he actually is. I felt like he's always been a little bit underrated, going all the way back to the initial couple days of the game. I've always felt like he's been a little underrated. Some of that's been that he hasn't necessarily been needed for content, and he still mostly isn't. I've always appreciated the fact that he also, at the bare minimum, was always a damage support character for allies. But I think that blunt typing, he does have some really wonky stuff that really holds him back in terms of damage. They really screwed him, I've said it before, by making all his crap scale off of attack except for the ultimate. That really screws him because his attack set's worthless. So he's not going to do a damn thing in terms of damage. And maybe with the ultimate, he'll do 20,000 damage, and give or take. I need to see his max damage potential. He's a character I never tried it with because he just doesn't have that high of a damage cap. But he is the best character in the game at protecting allies, right? So I think that's valuable as well. And then again, he does have a damage support. Mostly everyone else I'm going to ignore from here because I don't think they're characters either that are worth using, or I think they're such no-brainers, for example. But one I would like to throw out there really quick and I'm going to end it here, but I'm not going to talk about him. It's Kaiju number 8. So he could be a solid offensive character for you. I was actually impressed / surprised how well his offense has still held up even a couple of months into the game. It's not like it's been a year. But if you want to see him in action, check out the video that I put up yesterday. It should be popping up on the screen right now. And he still can be like, if you need a DPS character, he can still fulfill that role. So those are the characters that I think you guys should be looking towards if you are stuck in some content, etc. But ultimately, if you're stuck, it's going to come down to character levels, weapon levels. If you tell me you're stuck on something and your characters and weapons are not level 100, or at least like level 100 character with like level 80 to 90 weapons, like I can't really, like, that's all I'm going to tell you to do. And then I'm going to tell you, look at your uniparts. If you got crappy uniparts sets on that don't match the character, or if you got them on, they're not the 15-star set effect, I'm going to tell you to work on that. Like, it is what it is. But if you've done all that and you're still not able to clear content, especially if you've got options, it probably comes down to strategy. It probably comes down to gameplay. Maybe sometimes you have to be thoughtful, right? It is, at the end of the day, it's a turn-based game, but that doesn't mean that you just blow everything up. Unless you are Hoshina in 99% of the content. Anyway, so make sure you check out the Kaiju number 8 video, because again, he could still fulfill a similar role, and he's still very multifaceted. That's on the screen right now. I'll see you over there. Thank you so much.